Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I just got done seeing The Society on Netflix. It's a bit of Riverdale meets the X-Files, 100, Under the Dome, and Twin Peaks. So how did it turn out? Well, feel free to check out my thoughts after this intro and let me know your opinion of The Society if you've already seen it down in the comments below. Here we go. The Society is pretty much a modern take on Lord of the Flies. It's comprised of 10 episodes and it's a young adult series. The writer behind it was behind Party of Five in the 90s, and Mark Webb has some involvement. That's right, Mark Webb from 500 Days of Summer and the director of the Amazing Spider-Man films. Overall, I really love the premise of the society. I think it's a very intelligent premise that really reflects our current climate with politics and just society in general, especially with young adults, with teenagers, and the issues they're going to have to face moving forward. And that being said, I feel like I'm a little bit too old for this show. Sure, there are things that you can find being older than a young adult, but it's not like Riverdale or other shows like Smallville or Roswell where you can be past a young adult age to enjoy it. It's kind of different. The premise pretty much involves these group of kids who party. They're regular students, really. They end up getting teleported to this replica of their hometown in Connecticut. Their parents have disappeared. There are no adults. So what's left is kids governing this town, basically. And of course, they party like jackasses inside a church, and then they're left alone. So it makes you wonder, are they saved or are they the ones forsaken, so to speak? I love the premise and setup of this. There are moments that take you off guard in this show. I think what really hurts this is the writing, a little bit of the acting, but what really hurts it is the characters. The actors do a great job for what they're given, but they're just stereotypes of high school characters. You have your jock, you have your nerd, you have your virgin, and it's kind of like that. They are very two-dimensional. I don't really relate to anyone. Now, that's not saying that nobody can relate to these characters. You might be a young adult out there. You might be a teenager, and there might be one character that you relate to. Now, me personally, I didn't quite relate to anybody, really. There wasn't a sense of urgency. There wasn't a drive in this. They don't try to explain why they are there. They just are there, and it's really dealing with the consequences of them being there. They have to basically either build a society on their own or destroy one another, very much like Lord of the Flies, the novel. And it just kind of breaks my heart because I feel like if you had better characters with this premise, it really could have been something special. So for those going out to see like the next Stranger Things or something that is like Riverdale and X-Files, you're going to be a little bit disappointed. I know I was. I heard that it was like Riverdale meets the X-Files, Twin Peaks 100, Under the Dome. It's a lot more like Under the Dome than any of the other shows, but I thought it was going to be a mixture of what makes those shows great, and it's there. It's just very mundane. It's very boring. They do focus on the characters, and one thing I do like, despite the sort of stereotypes, I do like that more is told through action rather than exposition. So we get to learn more about the characters with each passing episode. So it is a slow burn in that regard. It's just how much do you want to invest into a show like that? And it's hard without the parents. I love it, but I feel like it could go a little bit further. There still could be some chaos. Now, that being said, there are some surprising elements, some shocking elements. I love the social commentary on certain issues that deal with toxic masculinity, gun control, that deal with socialism and how to exactly govern. Did it work with the previous society? Can it work with this society? Or are these kids just going to destroy each other? Can there be a civilized society? And I like that. I like the certain issues they deal with because it parallels our modern society and what these young adults now are going to have to deal with. And that's very interesting. I feel like they could have still taken it a step further. That being said, if you're a young adult, I think you're really going to dig this show. It's just for me, it wasn't quite the show that I think it could have lived up to with its premise. It could get better with future seasons, but the main problem is that we've already seen this before. It's stuff that's been seen before, but that's not it. There's other previous works that have done it in a much better way, and that's really truly the problem. And because of that, the characters are very shallow, and the acting sometimes is either really good or just eh. Rachel Keller does a good job at the beginning. Her and her sister are my favorite characters as far as like driving the story forward. You have other characters there. There's a deaf character. I really like that character. And there's certain interesting characters to say the least, but it's it's very much like they're fitting into a mold of a stereotype of what society, or at least the writers, think teenagers talk and act like. And I feel like there could be more there that other teenage shows have over this one. So, with that being said, should you see it or skip it? Well, if you're into young adult stuff, and if you are a young adult, I say give it a chance. But if not, if you're older, I would say skip it. This was very tedious to watch. It's not the most pleasant binge, to say the least. And there have been many other shows that have done it better. So I give The Society a 2 out of 5 and a C. It's an okay show, but I think it could have been much better given the premise. But we will see if it has a season 2. If it does, I like to see them explore more elements. There's some certain crazy moments and plot twists that really get you curious, like, wow, what's going to happen with this? And it is engaging in parts. I just wish the execution of all these ideas was implemented in a much better way. Anyway, those are my thoughts on The Society. If you haven't seen it, I say give it a shot if you're a young adult. If not, if you're older, skip it. But if you have seen The Society, let me know down in the comments, what do you think of the show? Feel free to watch my previous reviews of Lucifer, Cobra Kai, and my 500th video. And be sure to subscribe for more videos. You can also follow me on the Stardust app at Fred Film Fanatic. Till next time.